Let me guess. You walk out of a lesson thinking, I totally had that. And then 20 minutes later, you couldn't reproduce the choreography if your life depended on it. And somewhere between the studio door and your car, you decide, I'm bad at remembering choreography. I'm too old for this. My brain just doesn't work like it used to. Friend, stop right there. Today, I'm going to tell you something that may be mildly offensive, but incredibly freeing. You are not bad at learning. You are just untrained at how to learn. Let's fix that. Hey, it's your pal, the Dancing Housewife, and welcome to another episode of the Dancing Housewife podcast, where we talk about ballroom dancing as it actually exists in adult bodies, adult brains, and adult lives. Before we get started, I just want to pause and say thank you. If you're listening right now, you're part of the reason this show exists. Today marks the start of season 4 of the Dancing Housewife podcast, and I'm so grateful to be kicking off another season and another year of thoughtful, honest, and occasionally unfiltered conversations about this sport we love. All right, let's get into it. If you are an adult ballroom dancer and you've ever felt embarrassed because you feel like you should know this by now, this episode is for you. Because today, we are talking about how to become what I call a learning machine. Not faster, not harder, but smarter. There is a lie floating around the ballroom world, and it sounds like this. Kids just learn faster. And yes, kids do pick things up quickly, but what they're actually good at is experimenting without judgment. Adults, on the other hand, are phenomenal learners when they're given structure. The problem is that most adult dancers are trying to learn choreography the same way kids do. Copy, repeat, hope it sticks. And when it doesn't stick, they blame their age instead of their strategy. Your brain didn't stop working, it just stopped tolerating chaos. Here's the hard truth. Running a full dance over and over again is one of the least effective ways to learn choreography. Why? Because your brain does not learn dances, it learns patterns, chunks, and transitions. When you run everything all at once, your brain goes into survival mode. It grabs what it can, it drops the rest, and then you call that forgetting. That's not forgetting, that's oversaturation. So here's the framework I teach ballroom dancers, and this alone can change how you learn forever. I call it the learning machine, and there are 4 parts. Part 1 is the input. Input is how you receive information, in this case, choreography. Most ballroom dancers watch passively and assume their body will remember. Instead, you need to start decoding when you watch. Ask yourself, where does this step start? Where does it end? Where is my weight? Where is the rotation? If you can't answer those questions, your body is guessing. And guessing does not build muscle memory. Clarity does. Part 2, the process. This is where adult dancers shine if they let themselves. Your brain loves meaning, so name things. And I'm not necessarily talking about figure names and the DeVita syllabus, although if you can talk ballroom language, that's not a bad thing. What I am talking about are names that mean something to you. So label things, create landmarks. This is the accordion. This is the sexy silver move. This is the scary turn. This always happens after promenade. If you can explain the step out loud, your brain has clarity and organization. If you can't name or explain your steps out loud, not only does your brain lack clarity and organization, your body does too, because muscle memory starts in your noggin. Part 3, the output. This is where dancers really get it wrong. More reps does not equal better learning. Better reps equal better learning. When I was a gymnast, one of my coaches used to say, practice does not make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. In other words, it's not how much you practice, it's the quality of what you're practicing. Because when you repeat mistakes or bad technique over and over again, all you're really doing is getting very good at doing it wrong. So here's my rule. 3 quality reps. First rep, awareness. Second rep, correction. Third rep, commitment. If you miss it 3 times in a row, stop, clarify, reset. Practicing confusion just makes you really good at being confused. And another thing to keep in mind, when you're learning something new, slower is better. Muscle memory doesn't come from rushing, it comes from slow, precise, intentional movement. So take it slow. Part 4, consolidation. Muscle memory is not built during practice. It's actually built between practices. Mental reps matter. Ending on a clean rep matters. Stopping before you get frustrated matters. If you always practice tired and annoyed, that's the state your brain remembers. Finally, now let's address the elephant in the room. Older dancers think their age is a disadvantage. Let me tell you, it's not. Your advantage is precision, awareness, emotional regulation, pattern recognition. Young dancers learn fast. Experienced dancers learn deep, but only if you stop trying to learn like a teenager. So here's your homework. Don't panic. It's very simple. In your next lesson, don't move the first time your teacher introduces a new figure or makes a correction. Ask him or her to demonstrate and watch. Decode. In your next practice, pick one thing to focus on. One. Ignore the rest on purpose. And the next time you catch yourself saying, I'm just bad at remembering choreography, replace it with this. I'm not slow, I'm just strategic. When you become a learning machine, choreography stops feeling overwhelming. It starts feeling predictable and manageable, trustworthy. And that changes everything, not just in your dancing, but in how you show up on the floor. And if you're ready to actually put this into practice, I'd love to invite you to my Become a Learning Machine virtual group mental performance training session for ballroom dancers. It's this Wednesday, January 7th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You can scan the QR code on the screen for more information and to grab your spot, or visit the show notes for a link. We'll be breaking down practical strategies and creating simple step-by-step plans to help you learn choreography faster with more confidence. It's kind of a deep dive into what we're talking about in this episode. You'll also receive my free downloadable Become a Learning Machine workbook to support your learning long after the session ends. But most of all, we'll have fun, and you'll be surrounded by other ballroom dancers who light you up, cheer you on, and inspire you to keep growing. The kind of community that makes dancing feel exciting again and reminds you why you fell in love with ballroom dancing in the first place. And here's a little bonus just for today's listeners. When you register, you get a +1. That's right. Bring your partner or a dance buddy for free, because learning is faster and more fun when you don't do it alone. You'll get a confirmation email from me after you sign up. Just hit reply with your +1's name and I'll take care of the rest. Finally, if you found this episode helpful, do me a favor and share it with a dance friend. Leave a review, tap those 5 stars, and don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Facebook and Instagram so you never miss an episode. This is the Dancing Housewife signing off, and as always, happy dancing!
That's all, folks.